Welcome and what is up there, everybody? This is Casper Trader back here with another video today. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a portfolio review, which we haven't done in over a month now, which has been a lot of time. It's currently week 45 of our series of growing $2,000 up to $100,000. So I can't believe we're like only 7 weeks away from this being a year-long series on YouTube. And I've got to say, it wouldn't be possible without each and every single one of you guys. I really do appreciate you guys' comments, your likes, all the support you guys give motivates me to keep pushing and keep going and trying to come up with ways, more creative ways to grow the portfolio faster. So before we get into the video, I'd really appreciate you guys could smash that like button below and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys have not yet. I would really appreciate that a ton. So getting into the portfolio review, I'll show you guys how my portfolio has performed over the last week, month, 3 months, etc. So today we're up around $144 or 0.9%. In the last week, we're up 0.7% or $112. In the last month, though, we are up over $2,500 on our portfolio, or 18%, which I still can't believe. That's mind-boggling for just 1 month. And then in the last 3 months, if it wasn't even crazy enough, in the last 3 months, we're up $5,300 or around 48.6%. In the last year, we're up 55% or $5,700. And all time, slightly lower than that, 47% or $5,200. So this portfolio, as you can see, has just recently boomed. Like, we were sitting around the same area for relatively the same area for like 2 years of time, no movement. And then here come all these stocks, all these growth stocks start popping off, and boom, our portfolio has literally exploded in the upwards direction. And that's what I see continuing on in the future. Not saying that there might be some consolidation, some minor dips, but this is the direction that I'm trying to take this portfolio into. So we're going to be going over the options that I'm holding, which I did buy another option, as well as the new strategy that I'm thinking of using, that I'm actually planning on using. I really want to incorporate this strategy into my portfolio to completely change what we're doing right now and give the potential to scale this to 10x, like 10x the portfolio, nothing less, just 10x. I'm not looking for any small gains, not looking to invest just for dividends, things like that. Maybe when I'm older, I'll be doing that. But right now, my goal is to multiply my money and grow my capital, and not to preserve it by diversifying into tons of stocks, which I've admittedly kind of done already. So that's why I'm trying to fix this up, and I'll tell you guys my whole master plan and everything like that in today's video. So starting off, I'll go over the options, and then I'll tell you guys my whole plan with stocks, and then go over the bigger holdings that I have in my portfolio. So I did buy another Dropbox call. If you guys watched my last video, I bought a Dropbox call back then for around $455, and now I bought one for $575. So I kind of overpaid. Right now it's a little bit lower than that, but I'm not complaining. I bought this super far out, so it has a lot of room to run. I personally think that Dropbox can easily double in its price. Its balance sheet is phenomenal, PE phenomenal. Everything is great about this company, and all I'm basically waiting for is for people with large amounts of money that can actually move this stock price to catch on to that. So I tried to get in before. I've admittedly learned a lot from other YouTubers. It's not like I came up with the stock myself. I listened to others who are pretty intelligent in this space. I looked at what they were looking at, did my own research on it, and Dropbox, I've got to say, is a really good stock in my opinion. Maybe doesn't have 10x potential, but definitely has that 2x potential, maybe 3x potentially. And with this stock, I'm basically just waiting for it to pick up speed. It might be like, I'm going to give a pretty decent example, but you guys can't be mad at me because this is a pretty big difference. Like, I don't think Dropbox is going to go up like 2,000%. But if you take a look at Tesla, it was literally around the same area. Where was it around? Around the $50 to $60 post-split prices area for like 4 years, not moving at all. Then people started to catch on, hey, this is actually a really great company that can end up changing the entire world. What are we doing? let's start investing in it. So that caused the stock price to really gather speed and continue growing and growing and growing to where it is right now, where it's $850 per share post split. So that's basically what I think might happen with Dropbox. Maybe not to that extent, but give it the possibility to double. And if it doubles, I'm thinking that these options could definitely either triple or quadruple in price. So that could leave me with a nice profit. So if we leave this with like $2,000, 2.5K, maybe even like 3K, that would be awesome if we could do that. So that's my plan with these options. And now moving on to my sort of master plan about what I want to do with my portfolio to 10x it. So I've been doing a lot of thinking recently in the last month. Like, if I'm invested in all these companies, like it's great. Tesla's one of my biggest gainers. I have 38% of my portfolio invested in it, which is a lot to have invested in one stock. But that alone did not move my portfolio that much. Like, it did not double, triple, quadruple my portfolio. Well, I only made like 73% on it. But nonetheless, even when I concentrate on a stock this much, it doesn't have the possibility to explode my portfolio, which is something I'm looking to do. Even though I did make like 2.6K off of Tesla, I'm looking to concentrate on just a few stocks, maybe have 2, 3, 4 stocks in my portfolio, and put my money where my biggest dedication and where I see the biggest potential to be. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of those stocks. It's actually an ETF that I think has the potential to 10x, 20x, maybe even 30x in the next 10 years. Which you guys might be like, oh man, you got to wait 10 years? No, not necessarily. I actually hold this stock right now in my portfolio, so you guys can guess which one it is. And this stock has already risen for me like over 50%, so it can definitely grow. It's not going to be like one of those stocks that maybe just blows up in 1 month. Could be, could not be, but I think that this whole sector has the ability to 10x, 20x, 30x, maybe even more, because it's such an untapped market that people are just starting to get take a look at. So that, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I'm going to let you know right away, actually. That sector is the gene space, gene editing, all that kind of stuff. Like, and to specify which stock it is before I start talking about the whole sector, it's ARC-G, which I think they do a phenomenal job of focusing on really great companies who are big in this space and have the most potential and like the leaders of this industry. Not to mention the nice dividend that you get from it, which is not too much, but it's always something. But what I wanted to talk about with this whole sector and this stock in general, that I think it has the potential to 10x, 20x, maybe even more. I already made 84% on it, which is awesome. I didn't put too much money into it. I put $300 into it. But why I think that the sector has so much possibility to grow is because this is like a totally untapped thing. Like no one, or maybe there are some people doing that. It's very rare. But this is such a huge market that, let me give you an example. People who have some kind of gene problems, where some kind of illness they get some kind of illness because of their genes, like something is wrong in their genes, there's either a mutation or something like that. These companies have the ability to cure that, edit those genes, fix them, correct them, make them what they're supposed to be to heal the person and cure them. So some of these diseases related to genes are Parkinson's disease. Some cancers can even be cured by this, especially if you were to inherit cancer, because let's say your whole family tree has gotten cancer, you have a high probability of it. They can find a way to alter your genes using CRISPR technology and other pretty advanced stuff that can actually cure these types of illnesses. And these are huge illnesses, and I think that this is something that will be very supported by not only people, because people do not want their loved ones getting sick and dying of these horrible illnesses, but also by the government, because every individual who lives in their country is part of their economy. And if they have so many people dying because of these gene illnesses, then they're going to probably support these companies. Not saying they're going to give them money or anything like that, but they would be moderately supportive of. Like, I don't see why they would not like these kind of companies, where they would help cure their population, make their working population stronger, and have them working for a longer period of time so they don't fall for any kind of illnesses early on in age. Maybe even extend the lifespan of some people if they're, for example, some kind of gene illnesses related to genes and genetics and DNA. Maybe even extend their lifespan so that can mean more time working in the work field. Like, this is a huge cloud of like untapped potential, and I think that this sector can, not even joking, 10x, 20x. Like I said before, it's hard to believe that, but like, let's say you put in, let's say you kind of believe in it, you kind of don't, but you just put in, let's say, $3,000 into it. Maybe if this ends up fulfilling, and I don't see that how this cannot work. I think that these companies already are finding ways to cure different types of diseases, and they're working on it, experimenting, testing, and actually helping people already. That your money can literally go from $3,000 to $30,000 or $60,000 from just $3,000. These are Tesla and Bitcoin kind of gains that I'm talking about. And this is where I want to put my money at. I have to be clear with you guys. This is where I want to put my money at. ARKG, this stock, I think this ETF does a great job. I might do some investing in some individual companies that this ETF holds, but mainly just this ETF. I think I'm definitely going to be focusing a large percentage of my portfolio into it. Maybe even half of my entire portfolio will be in this to double, triple, quadruple, 10x, 20x my money. So enough about ARKG. That is just where I personally think that I want to put my money if I'm concentrating on just a few stocks. I think that this can be literally a 30 to 50% holding of my portfolio. So that's something I definitely want to buy more of. And in order to buy more of that, I have to sell off some stocks. So I basically just went through the whole process of thinking through, going over each stock and thinking, can this stock 5x? Can this stock 10x? Maybe even 20x? No? If not, out. I'm going to sell it. Some of these stocks I haven't sold yet because they are at like small dips that I know they're going to recover from. One example of this is Facebook. Like, it's already starting to recover. When I was doing this analysis, thinking about which stocks I want to throw out, it was around this area. I knew Facebook's going to definitely get back up there. What is it doing? It's getting back up there. So I think that once Facebook gets to around the $275 range, maybe even sooner than that, I am going to sell off my Facebook shares and dump that straight into, you guessed it, ARKG. I think that has the potential to grow my money the most. Tesla, I think, also is a phenomenal company. Maybe not a 10x company. Maybe in the future, many years down the line. But I think that this one still has the potential to double, triple in price, Tesla stock. So I'm just holding what I have here. Sometimes I might maybe put an extra $20 to $50 into it when I'm feeling like it. But another stock that I also was looking to throw out, so I'll just go down this list. Not going to take forever on each stock, but I'm just going to mention Apple, another one of those stocks. They're already worth $2 trillion, $2.2 trillion. Do you think they can really 10x? Maybe in the next 40, 50 years, but not in the next 10 years like I think ARKG can do. So Apple, one of those stocks I'm looking to sell off. I think it's a great price to sell it at right now. So I might go ahead and do that after this video. So Apple, I'm gonna get rid of. Facebook, I'm gonna get rid of. Tesla, I'm keeping because it still has the potential to double, triple, etc. I do really want to focus on stocks that can 10x or grow more, but you're also getting into that sort of, I guess, super speculative type of investing. If you're doing that where you just want your stocks to 10x, you're going to be buying like a bunch of penny stocks eventually. and losing your money on that. So I think that Tesla's a fair stock that maybe can 10x many years down the line, but I think it still has some growth potential that is much better or much higher than these companies that I'm going to list off. So Apple, Facebook, I want to get rid of. Amazon, also massive company, $1.6 trillion. Can it really 10x? Maybe, but just judging by its recent growth, like in the last year, not much movement. I mean, 73% is still a lot, and especially since it benefited from the pandemic. I really do want to get rid of my Amazon and put that money into ARKG. So I think right now is also a good time to do it. The stock market's like giving me these awesome opportunities right now to do it. I am gonna lose like 2% on it, but that's not anything compared to how much money I think that could go into making on ARKG. Skyworks Solutions. This stock is mostly for the benefit of 5G, which I think is pretty good. I actually spoke with someone recently who has 5G devices, and they said that they're not really fond of it, at least from what they've experienced so far. It's only a little bit better than what they have like on what you have like on your normal device, like 4G LTE. I believe that person. I think that they might be right, but I also have some kind of skepticism because 5G is supposed to be like way faster. So maybe they're wrong, maybe they're mistaken, maybe they haven't been using it to its full abilities. But I think that this space also, can it really 10x? Not really. Maybe 2x, but not much more. So I think Skyworks is a great stock. It's been a great ride. Had some nice dividends paid out from it and all that. But I think it's time to let it go. Take that 20% profit and leave. AMD, this one I haven't made up my mind on. I don't actually know. Surprisingly, I don't know anything like much about this company. Like, I know what they do, of course. I know where their products are placed, but I don't see like what this company is doing in the future, what their plans are, and everything like that. But it's been a great ride holding this stock. So whether I sell it or not, I still made a nice gain off of it. And it might continue to grow. So this one I'm undecided on. Revolve, though, is one of those stocks that I'm thinking about keeping and potentially adding more of on a dip. What this stock is basically a clothing company, an apparel company, as you can see above here. And they mainly specialize in women's clothing. Last time I checked and I did research on this company, which was many months ago. And I've seen a lot of influencers recently on social media start promoting this company. And the great thing about it is that they sell their products for pretty high prices. Like, it's not cheap, I have to admit. But what that leaves the company with is more money for marketing to grow the brand, and also more money for profits, so they can retain a lot of money. Let's say they sell some kind of like shoes for $120. Let's say that. Let's say it takes them 20, maybe even let's say $30 to make the shoes, ship them out. They just made $90 selling those shoes. What's now? They can use maybe 40 of that to spend on marketing, growing their brand even larger, and they can keep 50 of it for profit and paying out their owners, shareholders, everything like that. So I think this company with a market cap of $2.3 billion can definitely grow to a much larger size. I don't know about 10x, but definitely in that 2-3x area still, in my opinion. So that's what we got going on with Revolve. So Revolve, Tesla, and ARKG are the three stocks that I'm currently thinking about. Lemonade, I am not in the position to buy more of this stock, and I'm also not in the position to sell it. I already made over 125% on this stock just holding it. I bought 2 shares at $66 per share. I think this company is still in its really young phase, and it had a huge jump that doesn't really match the growth the company experienced recently. It's kind of like Tesla, where it just blew up because people just think it's a great stock, and it's not like Tesla magically sold 500 million cars over that span where the stock just went up so much. So with Lemonade, I'm thinking about just holding the stock. It doesn't hurt. It's a very small amount of my portfolio, and I still think that it has that just from $8 billion market cap. I still think it has that 5x potential. So that's what we got going on with Lemonade, and the rest, I'm just gonna give, I guess, a shout out. the rest of these stocks are not major holdings in my portfolio other than Dropbox. So I'm gonna like slightly go over them faster than the current ones. And then at the end, I also wanted to briefly go over Bitcoin, which I've been doing a little bit of, I've been dabbling with it a little bit, and I wanted to let you guys know about that. So yeah, going back to the stocks, Upwork, also one of those stocks that I kind of want to buy more, but I'm not sure if at this price I want to continue buying. I'm currently up 170% on the stock. So I initially just put in $100 and now I have $300 from this, so $200 in profit almost. And with this stock, I think that this is in a sector that's super undervalued. Undervalued, sorry, not valuated, undervalued. And a lot of people don't know the potential of it and haven't started using what these people have to offer, this company has to offer. And does the stock have 10x potential? Possibly. In my opinion, maybe 8 to 10 years down the line, maybe it can 10x. So I definitely am thinking about holding this stock. And if it does have any kind of major dip, I am definitely going to try to scoop up some shares at that point. But you guys can understand from my perspective, it's a little bit difficult to buy stocks of Upwork if I'm already up 170% on. It's like, how much higher can it go, really? But I think that the potential is still there. We did already talk about ARKG. So next one is Dropbox. This one is a little bit more of a short-term play. I mean, by short-term, I mean like 1 to 3 years holding, compared to other ones where I'm planning on holding 10, maybe 8 to 10 years down the line. To be a little bit broader, maybe 5 to 10 years down the line. But Dropbox, I think that once it reaches a price point of maybe $50 to $60 per share, that's when I'm going to start to either take profits or just take and sell all my stocks away. Because at that point, I think that the company doesn't have that much growth available to it. Like, it's not that undervalued. Maybe it'll be at equal value, but I don't think it'll have the possibility to grow that much more. So Dropbox, still a great stock. I think it still has a 2x potential. That's why I'm holding it, and that's why I bought some options on it, because it's the reason I bought options on it is because I'm relatively certain of this company making me money because of its great balance sheet, besides the fundamentals being also good. But compared to other companies, like if Tesla, I'm not going to buy options on Tesla. First of all, they're extremely expensive, and second of all, it's a company that's significantly overvalued, and everyone has to admit that, because it's trading at what the potential of that company is, maybe 5 to 7 years down the line, not what it's at right now. And Dropbox, I feel like, is trading below what it's valued at, and that gives the ability for it to quickly double or triple in price. So that's what we got going on with Dropbox. So this one I'm planning on holding, but not too long. And once I sell my options on it, I'll probably put that back into ARKG or Revolve or Upwork. Stitch Fix, one of these companies that I did want to sell, and I kid you not, I was looking to sell it around $55 per share down here. And I was like, you know what? Knowing me, whenever I sell stock, it usually explodes. So I'm just going to hold it for a few days and see what happens. And you can guess what happened. I held it for a few days and this stock literally exploded. It was going up like 8, 10, 12% per day on some days. And we have been able to pull out a little bit of money from it, a little bit of gains. And I'm going to probably sell this stock off pretty soon, just to lock in those profits. I have been on this company's website. I've researched this company pretty thoroughly, not as much as some other companies that I have, but I think that Stitch Fix is a good company. But when I went on their website, I've got to admit, it's good, it's clever, it's new, it's something different, but it's not something that I would personally use, or I don't see anyone around me using. So I think for that reason, I'm out. Kind of like Shark Tank, I guess. But until, I don't know, if something were to change in the company, maybe I would invest back into it. But right now, I'm happy with the gains that I got from the stock. I think that it did go up a very fair amount, and I'm happy with locking in my gains on the stock. Not saying it could still grow double, triple, quadruple from here, but I feel like I personally am not vibing with this stock right now. So that's what we got going on with Stitch Fix. Shopify, this stock, maybe it's not a 10x potential, but it can definitely like 5 to 7x in my opinion. E-commerce is a huge space, and when I say huge, I say like extremely big, massive. And Shopify is like the leading company that you go to build your website, e-commerce websites, either whether that's for dropshipping or for actual brands. I see a lot of brands using Shopify for their websites. So this company, I think that it can reach $1 trillion market cap in the future. I remember buying this stock on a different account. Maybe it might have even been on a discount. I'm not sure. But I remember buying this stock at $400 per share, and I sold it because it had a minor dip. I think it was somewhere close to here. Had a minor dip. I sold it for a loss. And now looking back at this stock, I could have 3x my money on it, which is ridiculous. But I'm looking to kind of avenge myself, I guess, on the stock as well. I would be comfortable holding a share of this, given that it has like 10x potential or even more. So I would split up my portfolio based on that. So yeah, that's what we got going on with Shopify. I think it's definitely one of those stocks. So after we end this off with the last stock, I'll give you guys the quick rundown of the stocks that I think have that 5 to 10x potential. So Tattoo Chef, also a great stock. I put some money into it recently. End of December, beginning of January. I think this stock has also, it's kind of more of a Dropbox for me. It's a short-term play. I think this company has a lot of long-term potential for sure. But generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of food company stocks. This stock is like a growth company in the food sector because they're innovative, they're coming up with new things. But I think once that catches on, like it won't have the possibility to grow as much as some other things, other sectors like the genomics space, for example. But anyways, I think this is still a great stock that has 2 to 3x potential in the short term. By short term, I mean like 1 to 3 years. And I can take my money from there and then put it where I think it will grow the most. And so going over the stocks that I think have potential that I want to just mainly be holding my portfolio, sell off the rest, are going to be Tesla, Revolve. So Tesla would be one of the bigger holdings. Revolve, one of the slightly smaller holdings. Upwork, also one of the smaller holdings. ARKG, one of the bigger holdings, probably as big as Tesla, or maybe even bigger. And Shopify, also one of the slightly smaller holdings on my portfolio. So these stocks that I just mentioned right now are the stocks that I think have a lot of potential in the long term, that I'm comfortable holding for the next 10 years. And I think they'll bring significant profits. So the goal will be to grow this portfolio to $100,000. And without adding significant capital, I did add $150 yesterday into this portfolio, just to buy a little bit of some stocks. But I am not really looking to put more money into this. I'd rather just have it grow on its own so you can actually see the progress of it that way. And I think we could definitely turn this into $100,000. Just give it time and give it the right stocks and the right strategies, and we could do it. So now, like I promised at the end, I briefly wanted to talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been going crazy lately. Like it's gone up a lot, over to around $41,000 per Bitcoin, and now it's dipped down to like $34,000, $35,000 per Bitcoin. And I've been buying this little by little. Like you can see, I bought $12 here, about $50 here, 25. I think I bought $100 worth of it just earlier, a few weeks ago. And Bitcoin is also going to contribute to this growth that I'm talking about, that I want to like 10x my portfolio, because I do see the potential of Bitcoin. This is a topic for a whole other video, because this would take a lot of time to talk about and explain. But I definitely see Bitcoin as a very good investment, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, just for entertainment purposes, but I see Bitcoin as a really good investment that has the potential to grow to the market cap of gold or even beyond that. Give it time, and I think it will do that, in my opinion. And if it were to reach the market cap of gold, it would be over, I can't remember the exact number, but I know for sure the calculations had it at $400,000 per Bitcoin, which does meet that 10x, well, 5 to 10x criteria that I'm looking for with these stocks that I'm holding for the next 10 years. So yeah, that's basically what we've got going on with Bitcoin. We're up around 1.4K on it, which is cool. I put in a lot of money into it recently, so that's why my average cost is up. I started buying like at around 10 to 11,000, I think, in the beginning. But yeah, that's basically what we got going on with Bitcoin, and that's our portfolio, guys. And I can't wait to see this portfolio continue to grow, continue to scale it up and to the moon to $100,000. And I really do appreciate all you guys staying to the end. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.